Thank you very much, John, and good afternoon, shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. 2022 for Amarc was really a transformative year with the company. The entire team is working frantically. We're already back in the field, and we're looking forward to a very active and productive year as we forge ahead here. The sole purpose for the existence of Amarc Resources is to identify and develop the next generation of copper gold deposits in the province of British Columbia. This is the usual cautionary statement. Our value proposition, we've assembled 3 very extensive copper gold districts in British Columbia. They range between about 500 and 700 square kilometres. We've assembled them, we've acquired them, we're developing them, and we think we're on the verge here of unlocking the value of these districts for our transaction partners and also our shareholders. The optionality in Amarc not only exists at the corporate level, it actually also exists at this district level. What do I mean by that? Each one of these districts is anchored on one or more large known copper deposits. And behind that, they are backed by a pipeline of very prospective copper gold deposit targets that we have started to explore and we will be continuing to explore through 2023. These are the types of assets that Amarc has found that are very much of interest to the producers. In 2021, we brought Freeport in on the Joy district, and late last year, we brought Boliden in from Sweden on the Duke project. In all, they can earn up to a 70% interest in these districts. They can do this by expending or funding exploration in increments up to $110 million and $90 million respectively. What this actually means for Amarc is we've acquired potentially $200 million of non-share dilutive funding. On the Joy project with Freeport, we've been out for 2 seasons. They've spent $20 million. We've drilled about 20,000 meters. We're waiting for about 15,500 meters of those drill results to come in. They will be coming in shortly, and we will be releasing them. We signed the deal with Boliden late last year, in late November. Before Christmas, we were already out drilling, delineating the Duke deposit, which is the centerfold of the Duke district. We're out there again with 2 drill rigs already drilling this year. We have a 3rd district, the Ike deposit, the Ike district with the Ike and Empress deposits. We're looking at funding options for that district as well. The option at there's a great deal of credibility in our team here. We have assembled a team which has discovered, developed, and successfully transacted a number of big porphyry copper gold districts in British Columbia and indeed globally. So you can see from what I'm saying, there's going to be a lot of news flow coming out of the company as we move forward through the year. So we're going to go to the first big property we have in partnership with Freeport. It's the Joy. It's located in north central British Columbia. All of these districts are characterized by their good infrastructure. One of the things I just want to point out about Joy, we've heard a lot about the Golden Triangle, the Golden Horseshoe. What happens in the Golden Triangle is you have these great 200-million-year-old rocks. They host some world-class deposits like Galore, owned by the likes of Teck and Newmont. Those 200-million-year-old rocks actually wrap around the north of BC and they head southwards into our Joy area. We're in the right geological environment. They also extend down into what is adjacent to our Joy property, that is the Kemess mining district held by Centerra. The team that I'm working with, we're the first team to actually recognize the true porphyry potential in the Kemess area, and we've taken all of that expertise and knowledge and we're applying it to our Joy district. This is what the Joy District looks like. We have a slew of targets in both low-lying and slightly higher topographical areas. The area outlined in the red, this is our Pine 6 square kilometre target area, and it hosts the Pine deposit. This is the copper gold deposit that this project is anchored on. This was one of the reasons that Freeport were interested in this project. Going on to the next slide, this is induced polarization, geophysics. It's a tried and true method for porphyry exploration globally. It identifies sulfide systems. It doesn't always identify that they're copper endowed. That would make our geologists' jobs far too easy. But the point I want to make with this slide is you can see there is a central trend there. It's over 12.5 to 13 kilometers long. It's got several of these, big red pink blobs, as we like to see on this type of geophysics. And there's several big 6 square kilometer targets marching along this trend. And this is just one of the trends we're developing. We know that several of these targets are actually pregnant with copper, and we're currently exploring them with Freeport. Just to give you an idea here of the Pine deposit, the target area is 5 square kilometers. The Pine deposit itself is focused where you can see hole 7 and hole 8 located. That's an area of 600 by 900 meters. There's a series of historical drill holes into it. We have resampled, relogged all those drill holes. They're in the assay labs. In 2021, we put 2 deep holes into it, and we stepped out from it 0.5 kilometer and drilled what you can see as hole 9 back towards the deposit from the northeast. All those 3 holes hit. What it showed us and showed our partners is this deposit is open to depth, it's open internally, and it's open laterally to expansion. It is a gold and rich copper play. You can see the copper equivalents. We are using copper equivalents. They're easy to present. And one thing, I know that several people in the audience might not like copper equivalents, but in Amarc, we do not use 100% recoveries. We're using reasonable recoveries, respectable recoveries that we've calculated and taken guidance from producing mines and advanced stage development projects in the province. So moving on very quickly to Duke, we have this with Boliden, good infrastructure again. It is focused on the Duke deposit. This is the landscape on the Duke deposit where we're currently drilling. We have a drill rig drilling in the center of the deposit where you can see the blue and yellow dots. We're already expanding the deposit to depth and laterally. We have another drill rig stepping out to the north. That red line again is the size of our target. It's 3 kilometers of strike length. It's defined again by induced polarization. This is a cross-section through the main area of the known mineralization at this time. We released the vertical hole, you can see there, hole 9, just this week. It is 550 meters of 0.33% copper equivalent. That is economic in British Columbia. And it includes intercepts of 120, 140 meters at 0.56 copper equivalent. They are not carried on huge spikes. They are continuous intercepts of mineralization. This is the extent of our land package. It's 700 square kilometers. We will be out there with Boliden this summer, once we finish drilling through the winter, to assess a slew of prioritized copper gold targets that we have throughout this property. Very briefly, our Ike deposit and project is located in southern BC. This is the central copper production in Canada. We have 2 deposits here. You can see them on the red stars, the Ike and the Empress. This is the topography. The Ike deposit is actually in the foreground. This was an Amarc discovery. It's got 26 long drill holes in it. It is a copper, moly, silver, big porphyry. We want to get out there. We want to delineate a resource and do a PEA. But where we want to start in the district is as the Empress. The Empress is not a porphyry system. It's driven by porphyry systems, but it is itself a copper-gold replacement body. The reason we're interested and very excited about this, and we're just gagging to get out there and drill it, You can see here we've got 1% and above of copper in intercepts. We've got a multigram gold, we've got silver, we've got moly. Those copper equivalents are 1 to 3%. So we're looking at mechanisms to fund the drilling here. We're fully permitted. We want to be out here on the ground. So to sum up, because we're out of time, we have 3 great districts. We have more ideas in our back pocket. We have 2 great partners in, up to $200 million of non-share dilutive financing. We're looking at how to finance Ike. There's going to be numerous catalysts and a large, a large flow of news. This was very quick. There's not enough time to explain everything, but I am here with my executive chair, Bob Dickinson, who's known to a lot of you. We're on our booth, and we'd love to talk more about the company and the districts this afternoon if you have an interest. Thank you very much.